Awesome. Well, first things first, well, like Rishi said, welcome. Thank you for being here. Thank you for giving us your time. We have a little gift for you, and that is a brand new cookbook we've been whipping up in the kitchen, in the Digio kitchen here. We care about things that convert, and that's what we want for you is high converting, particularly BFCM, right? Everybody's Super Bowl of e-commerce is right around the corner. So I know there's a ton of BFCM playbooks out there. We might have the only cookbook on the market right now, I think. Definitely a really wonderful assortment of recipes that you can make use of to create your highest converting BFCM ever. The cookbook is available on our website under the resources section. That's the direct link right there. Um, We'll pop it in the chat for you as well. Rishi's doing that right now. And you can go grab it. It's free. You just need to opt in so we can know where to send it to. But hopefully everyone will grab that. And if you have questions about how to implement these things, please ask. If you have a CSM, ask CSM. Send a page from the cookbook into our support team and say, hey, I want to implement this and I don't know how. Can you walk me through it? We want to help you make the most of this cookbook. So um, that is that. Everyone go grab it.
And this, we consider this cookbook as like part of our platform and product. So Marissa, who authored this book, she looks at everything that we do at Digio. We have an internal channel when a customer is launched, when a customer is successful. She looks at that. She goes in the campaign. She does a deep dive. She goes through like, what worked, what doesn't. And that is how this cookbook is made. We understand that conversions don't just happen in a Digio pop-up quiz or campaign. Sometimes they happen in the email or the SMS sequence. And that is the point of this book, is to drive conversions. And we consider this a big part of what we do here. It's all encompassing, helping you increase conversions. So definitely check it out. It's awesome.
We got a lot to cover today. We are going to talk about some style setting updates that we have, a quiz overhaul that we did on our quiz side of the platform. We're going to talk about journeys. We're going to go on journeys together. We have some updates in the editor, as always, a big focus of this entire year. Some things to share with you about our reporting, and then we have a big surprise announcement at the end. So stay for that.
Yeah, this is going to be a pretty high, fast-paced update. We have a ton to share with you. First of all, we're always learning from you guys. We're always learning from our clients. We believe that our clients are sometimes smarter than us, and we want to take those aspects as well and put it into our platform. All of these updates are driven by you guys as well. Feedback that we hear in support, feedback we hear from the market, feedback that we hear from during onboarding. So all of this is really just based on pure customer feedback, which we're excited to kind of show you guys. And feel free to ask any questions in the chat. I can address them later if we don't have time as well. And let us know. So let's get started. One thing we hear time and time again is that bandwidth aspect. And people are not just they're coming in for a quiz or a pop-up, but they want to do more. And so we launched account and campaign level styles. And I'm going to take you guys through like some examples as well. But you set it up in one place in Digio, like the fonts, the colors, and then you could apply automatically across, a heavy quiz, so like a 10-step quiz. You could set it up once and apply it across the entire quiz. And then you can also apply that same settings across a pop-up, a banner. So the whole idea is to, quickly launch different campaigns, and you set up the brand and the guidelines in one place, and you can quickly apply it to really anything that you launch in the platform in the past or the future. So we're excited about that. One other thing we saw was people don't want to have a unique desktop design and a unique mobile design. So if you update it in a desktop or you update it in mobile or in tablet, it updates across all your screen sizes. So that's a big update that hopefully removes time. The other thing we saw is people fumbling over their fonts. And so one thing we can now do is we can look at your site and grab all the fonts and just upload it directly into Digio. So hopefully during onboarding or the initial stages, just getting the AI fonts imported into your account are dramatically easier as well. And we optimize this as well. So speed is a big part of this. We want it to be a WAF 2 font. So if it's not a WAF 2 font, we automatically convert it as well, which is pretty exciting. So on the account level styles and the campaign level styles, You just set it up right here and it'll automatically apply to all buttons. And not just this specific step, across any steps that you apply this specific button style to. And you can set up styles on a text level, so like the header text or even the FAQ text. You can set up different styles as well. So typically for button styles, you'll need one for like text-based options. You'll need maybe one for answer buttons. And you can have multiple styles with different type of hover effects, select states, and you can apply to different elements in every campaign as well. And the other
Nice.
big thing is layout. So layout is a good one because typically before you had to apply a layout on every single step. Now you can just apply it once and apply to all steps in a quiz or a pop-up for a multi-step.
Layout is background.
Layout as background.
Is some nomenclature there. My favorite part about the buttons piece is you can actually see it's really tiny on the screen right now, but when you're in it, you can see those little edit pen next to where it says button style 2. I always, whenever I'm in a platform, I'm like, I don't know what style 2 was. So I can give it a unique name in Digioh where I know that this is the dark version or the light version or our green button or our purple button. You can call it whatever you want that makes sense to you. So you're not relying on what the software wants to call it.
Yeah, I love that. And remember, there's two types of styling that we have now. We have campaign specific, right? So maybe you have very specific styles on a specific campaign and account level as well that it can inherit as well. So you can set
Mhm.
up an account level and that will adhere to everything every campaign that you're building in Digio as well. And this is a little peek of kind of the AI fonts. And we still have our classic version, which is the standard. You just upload your font and go. So that's all still there. But now you can just import all your fonts right away just by entering your URL here. So we've done a lot of work on quizzes. And one thing that has been really time consuming in the past is setting up the logic. So, you set up the design, we import your products, but then you have to kind of go in and you have to quickly figure out how, what answers are they answering and what we're going to recommend at the end of the quiz. What products are we going to recommend? And that took a lot of time. People sometimes send us spreadsheets. And what we try to do is we look at your product feed now. We look at your entire product feed, everything in your product feed. So the text elements, the metadata, any tags that you're importing in, really everything associated to that product. We're running it through our AI and automatically generating logic for it. And so I'm going to talk through that as well. And the beauty is always going to be, it's going to be AI that's going to do 60 to 75% of the work, and then it's going to be you're going to come in and edit as well. So we know that you have to come in and edit these options, which is kind of the power of it. So in the quiz settings section, there's a new AI kind of tab, and there's a lot more coming to this as well. But here's outcomes. Then I'm going to talk about weights as well. So this is around the product recommendation logic. And we have three options I wanted to highlight here. One thing that's cool is you can keep what you already have. So sometimes people go in and they add a few logic that they know they want. And the AI can actually read that in as well and kind of govern the rest of the logic too, which is kind of cool. I like to always start from fresh, especially if it's a brand new quiz, and then come back in and then rerun the AI with what I have as well, based on my edits. So
Oh,
what it
that's a
can
great
do, and here's a
process.
cool coffee quiz that I just did right before this, is it automatically creates the personas. So what's interesting about this is before when we were doing it manually, we would kind of write like, oh, this is outcome one or group one. But what's nice about what the AI does is it automatically also creates these persona ideas. So in this case, people that really like iced coffee, and then we automatically recommend these products as well. And it automatically generates based on your product feed. So here's kind of an example. If they click they like iced coffee and how often they want to drink, occasional, we're going to recommend these specific products. Now, at any time, you can come in and edit this as well, right? So here's like the you can come in here, you can delete it, you can duplicate it, you can come here, update the products that you want to recommend, you can edit the what it's called as well. So we try to make it super transparent. So AI builds it, and then you come in and edit it. That's kind of our whole take on AI in general. And you're going to see that kind of time and time again as we explore more AI features. The other cool thing is you can iterate on it. So you generate the outcomes, and then you can iterate on what you have and what you already have in place. And then you can also give it instructions, just like using ChatGPT. You can give it negative operations. Have it specify specific tags. And then here's what's cool. Since we're importing your product feed directly, if the more information you give the product feed, the better this gets as well. And so if you're on Shopify, If you update in Shopify, we'll automatically incorporate that as well with our automatic feed. And then weights. So we have two modes. So if you're familiar with Digioh quizzes, we have two modes of our quizzes. We have outcomes, we have weights. Now, weights, you can go a little bit more granular, and we also incorporate AI into this as well. And it's based on really any data in the product field. So in this case, we're specifying a specific button. And in this case, if they click iced coffee, we're saying, hey, they're probably interested in cold brew. So we're going to recommend any cold brew tag in the account. Now, what's cool about weighting is that if you make updates to your tags, in Shopify, it'll be automatically updated here with no work needed on the Digioh end. The other cool thing is we could also automatically apply to specific product SKUs too. So let's say there's a very specific product that you absolutely want to recommend. If they click iced coffee, you can do that here as well. And our AI also incorporates that too. So one thing we saw is people don't just want one quiz. They want 8 quizzes. They want specific quizzes. They want gift finder quizzes. So the biggest thing we wanted to do was building quizzes really fast, especially niche quizzes. And so we launched our quiz builder, and this has been in the wild now for at least 3 to 4 months, and it's been going really great for our customers. So there's a few big wins in terms of our quiz builder. One is you can leverage, we have actually a bunch of themes that you can then leverage. And then you could click on the theme and it automatically will import all the questions from that theme into our quiz builder. Then you can go in and make updates. You can make really quick updates like, hey, I want to change the text to this, change the question, change different answers, delete buttons, add questions, and it'll adhere to that theme. And then now with campaign styles, you can easily swap out all those elements as well to make it fully on brand as well. So we think if you take from a theme and you have the quiz builder and you're leveraging campaign styles, you can pump out a quiz much, much faster than you were before. I'm going to pause to see if there's any questions in the chat here. Nope. Cool.
Yeah, all of these combined with the AI power on the weights, this really tackles a lot of what the problems people have brought to us around quizzes are is how do I don't know what questions to ask. I don't know how to format things. Like I've never built a quiz before, or I get really stuck. I know what questions I want to ask, but I don't really know how to combine my products into different results, right? Different outcomes. So like Rishi said, the AI side of it is going to do 75% of the work for you, but it gets you over that blank page state, which ultimately is what stops people from launching. So the goal is not just to make it easier to build from the ground up, but also to get you launched as quickly as possible.
100%. And the other cool thing is what I love about the quiz builder is we have a lot of folks that want to quickly A/B test their quiz. Quizzes typically become the highest converting thing that you could put on your site. Usually it's especially for a first-time visitor, you're seeing a 5x increase in conversions if they go through a quiz flow versus a non-quiz flow. And so the next thing they want to do, they're like, oh wow, this is converting like crazy. Can it convert even better? And so we have drop-off reporting in the account. And so you could easily clone this campaign, this quiz campaign, maybe delete a question based on your drop reporting, add additional option, don't make it required potentially. Make it a question you can skip. And then you can easily create a quick campaign based on this, make some modifications and A/B test it. And then with our revenue reporting, kind of tying it all together with our revenue reporting, you can actually see what is the actual revenue impact here on this A/B test as well. So a lot of different things that you can do, and it all updates desktop, mobile, whatever screen size you have set in your campaign, it'll update across the board. So I'll delete the question, I'll update the questions, I'll update the answers, the requirements. Pretty much everything you want to update can be done here. And then once you hit save, you can update any design details either in campaign settings or in our editor. So we're super excited about this. We've already seen some big wins, especially internally as well. When we build quizzes for customers, it's massive reduction in time savings. So we really care about conversions. We're really focused on reducing drop off, increasing revenue. And so one thing we saw on mobile is that keeping this continue button always in place, even if it's a longer kind of question. And so we added the sticky element. So if you're, and so before I go into this, we always want to make sure that you can always get to the next question very quickly. And that's where this continue button will always stay on the page. So if you guys have a longer question and you see it scrolling, recommend adding our sticky elements extension, and you can add the continue button right at the bottom. So let us know about this one as well. This is a really fun one. If you haven't noticed, our editor has really sped up. We've added a ton of new elements behind the scenes. And we're constantly updating this, kind of going back to building more campaigns faster. And the editor is a big part of kind of what we do here. So making that faster, easier to launch, and just making it easier to use. And so hopefully you're seeing some effects there. And the other big thing we're noticing is we added Nick, our head of design, he launched animated themes, which are really fun. So our teasers sometimes become the highest converting thing to get them to the pop-up, get them to the quiz. And so next it's about drawing attention to it. So we added a bunch of animated kind of aspects to it. One thing, this one's really cool. It's like an animated breathing. So it looks like someone's breathing. And these are all kind of based on your brand. And maybe there's a Cyber Monday one that you guys can, it's like a video kind of theme player. So check these out. It's in our theme library. You can use any one of these and we can apply all your brand details to this as well. So this is pretty cool to get people engaged. And it doesn't have to be like a 15% offer. It could be like sign up for our sweepstakes. It could get them to your quiz. And then a little nudge effect gets them back in to see it. And you only want to display it to adhere to the rules. So if they've already submitted their pop-up or if they've already are known, maybe we don't show it. So you can make it so that it's only to the people that you want to engage. So
Rishi, these
super
last two
exciting.
people are loving in the chat, are getting claps and oohs and ahs in the chat on the next button and these more dynamic, interactive like teasers.
You will see a boost in conversion rate with this. You've already noticed it with a client of ours. By the way, this is Gainful, client of ours. Best protein powder. If you buy protein powder, take this quiz. It works really well. And buy their protein powder. It's one of my favorite quizzes. Definitely check it out.
Not sponsored by Gainful.
Not sponsored by Gainful, unfortunately. But shout out to Gainful. Great protein powder. All right, so any questions on these anime teasers? I would love it if you guys used it. You will see a boost in conversion rate as well. And we have more on this as well right now. So if you remember, if you're a Digio longtime customer, you will remember that we used to call every single thing that we did a box. And honestly, that term kind of boxed us in. We were seeing people using us in a lot of different ways, interactive teasers, quizzes, exit intent. So, and it kind of like a whole journey of items. And so that's why we really relabeled it campaigns to give us more room to kind of grow. And that is going to bring this next feature, which we call journeys. And so you can access it right inside the editor. It's ready available to you right now. If you go to, we're going to show it in this clip right here. But if you click on create new, you'll see the journeys mode. And this is one of our journeys right here that I want to talk through. This is a high converting journey. It does kind of four or five things together. And we wanted to kind of put that into one kind of sequence. So if you hit build this journey, it's actually going to build out multiple campaigns for you that are automatically tied together. So we have this teaser that automatically shows up, if it's a first time visitor. When you click on it, it's going to show up a pop-up that captures an email address. After you enter your email address, let's say it's a coupon, let's say we're going to give a coupon code, we can show a banner at the top of the page with a countdown timer with a coupon code that is a click to copy action as well. So it's combining multiple elements. And this banner is going to keep showing from page to page to page until they make a purchase. What we found out is people that don't use, if you're going to give the coupon, you definitely want people to use the coupon, right? We want to get that revenue if we're going to give them a coupon. So we can detect if they've actually made a purchase or not and show that coupon code always there on site as a banner. This can be at the top or the bottom. But the whole idea is kind of tying them all together to increase conversions on your site. And so we have a bunch of these journeys. We're adding more journeys. If you guys have ideas for journeys, we're all over it too. We have another one for quizzes, promoting the quiz. And then this also ties in our exit intent. So it's combining kind of all the different campaigns that we can do all tied together. And this
So
is
it's
Val's baby, by the way. So Val, do you have any other additional
yeah,
comments?
what I love about these is that taking everything you've said so far, if you apply account styles, so you have your colors, your fonts, your button settings, all of that ready to go, you build these journey when you build a journey, the conditions are mostly preset for you. You'll have to go in and make sure it's the correct URLs and all those things that are unique to your site. But between account styles and journeys, you're 75% of the way to launching a full customer experience on your site. So that on-site experience goes from, oh, here we collect their email address, and then here we have an exit intent, and then the quiz is somewhere else. Now it's all tied together and it's all done in your brand style, you go in and you change some of the copy, check the conditions, make sure that they align to what you want them to do, and then you can hit publish. And it takes you, you know, cuts down 75% of the time that it takes to publish. I mean, this is 4 campaigns that you can publish in the amount of time it would take to do less than one.
Especially if you already set up your account styles. So if you already have account styles ready to go,
Yeah.
this is going to cut down that time as well, because all this will be like branded with your colors, your fonts, anything that you want in there automatically. All you have to just set it and apply it, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Zach, we'll be trying to figure out a way to show the coupon for someone with an abandonment coupon. This will be great for that. Absolutely.
Yeah.
This will be great for abandonment. Absolutely.
Hmm.
All right, so we hear about our editor, and we have a lot in store around our editor to make it easier to use, faster to use. And the biggest thing we've just launched is this option right here, the snap to grid, and the ability to kind of see the pixels, where are things floating. And then you could apply this to really anything that you have in the screen size section. So you can have the grid. We have a lot more going on this. We have a lot of feature requests of snapping to like the middle or the left. And so that's coming out soon. But right now we have the snap to grid option. And so you can snap it and you can also show the grid as well on a 5 pixel basis. So this is pretty exciting as well. We also added type ahead search in a lot of different places, in a lot of other places that are coming soon as well. So if you have a lot of campaigns, so now more people are launching more campaigns. So there's all these features that we're adding around that as well. So being able to search for campaigns, be able to search for images. We're going to hopefully add it into conditions as well soon, so you can easily find the right condition that you want to add in. So type ahead search is coming across the entire platform to be able to find things easier and faster. So we're making a lot of micro improvements across the entire platform around this as well. This was 100% based on custom feedback. So we thank you guys. And this comes sometimes in support, sometimes in onboarding calls, sometimes with your CSM rep. So please continue giving us feedback on the product. We love it and embrace it.
Yeah, I think a lot of companies say that, right? Like, give us feedback. We actually are developing all of this based off of feedback, right? So instead of saying, "Oh, I wish I could do this in Digio," or "I wish Digio would allow me to XYZ," and just kind of holding that to yourself, send a ticket into support, tell your CSM, let somebody know so that we can enter that as product feedback for the team to review. And certainly we can't do everything for everyone, but when we hear about things more than a few times, we start to investigate, right? So if you have a request, put it in, because it might mean that that might be the tipping point for something actually getting done. If 3 other people have already brought it up recently, then we're going to look at it a little bit closer than a one-off thing, right? So definitely make your asks known so that we know what to build for you.
100%. All right, so analytics are always a big thing that we care about. And so we have a bunch of improvements that we made on our analytics. One is you could export all of our data really easily, the campaign level data. Any chart that we have, you can export that. My favorite thing to do is export this and put it into ChatGPT, and just say, okay, and just talk to it, right? So we have a lot of things that are coming out around that as well. But right now, you can export all your data. Now, the beauty of some of our data is that it's on top of the GA data that's already in your account. So there's a ton of insights that you can unlock because of that combination of data. And then this screen is just exporting our campaign data, but this one right here, this is our top 40 attribution. So you can export this, and imagine if you could ask questions like, hey, is this generating revenue for us? What are our margins on this? You can combine this data with your other data potentially in ChatGPT and talk to it. So everything is exportable. So if you look at any of our custom charts, you can export that as well here as well. So every single one of these, every single chart that you see, you can export now onto your computer and talk to it if you wanted to, or maybe just create a nice report. But this right here is our dashboard. And so you can configure these dashboards. I think we have 40 plus custom charts that you can one-click add, and you can also build your own custom chart. So if you have an idea of a specific thing that you want to see, you should ask, our team, and we can potentially even build it for you. And the beauty of that is it's not just Digio data, it's your GA data as well. Your revenue data that's locked into GA, we can bring that in too. So it's a very powerful report when you combine the two, and we can build out this dashboard. The other cool thing is, let's say, your boss or your team needs to see a Digio report from you every week or every month. You could just come in here, screenshot this, and paste it in. So let us know what those reports are. We want to make that easier for you as well. So let us know. And then these are kind of all the things that you can add to your dashboard. There's so many different combinations: average time on page, your average order value in Digio, number of subscribers you had. There's a ton here in the custom. So definitely check out the custom dashboard if you hadn't had a chance. And you could apply it to specific campaigns as well.
What I love about this is that it's not proprietary Digio dashboard data. We don't have an algorithm we've built to determine these things. It's straight out of Google Analytics. So, we're pulling, that's why it's so important that you have GA connected, even if you don't use GA anywhere else in your business. Even if you never look at it anywhere else, we look at it to see these things. And it's a great place to kind of check against what we're looking at in Digio. And we've just found it to be the most consistent form of input for us. And it's just very clear, right? We care a lot about transparency and for you to be able to see exactly what's happening in Digio and with your Digio performance. So GA was the no-brainer solution for all of our reporting here.
Yeah, 100%. Even people that say they don't use GA, they usually have GA running on their site, and they're
Yeah.
usually firing events to GA with their revenue data. So that's the beauty of kind of what we do here. Now, of course, we can fire events to really any analytics system, but that's kind of locked into that analytics system then. So we can do both. All right, this is just a few things, just favorite things, rapid fire that we're just going to talk about. One thing we just launched is AI support. Now, of course, we still have the regular support, so just email us anytime, support@digio.com. But, about 4 months ago, we created our own custom GPT to handle a lot of our hardest technical questions, like a ton. And what we did is we took that learning and we put it into this bot. And that has dramatically reduced the amount of technical questions that we get internally. It is very helpful. It can do a lot of stuff. We have a lot more coming to this. If you don't find the support agent helpful, we want to know about it. We're constantly training this nonstop. So let us know. Of course, you can email us as well. We also do have live chat coming soon as well, which we're excited about that you can easily toggle between. But this has been huge. I personally use it a lot. Sometimes before I answer a question, I'll use it. So it's been good. We've been training it constantly over the last four months. Shout out to our support team, Juan and Patrick, for getting this live, and it's really good. So check it out and let us know if it's good or bad. And you can give it a thumbs up, thumbs down arrow. We look at every single one. So if you get a thumbs down, that'll be good for us to like iterate on as well. Spin to win. Spin to win always crushes it. I know there's a hate-love relationship with spin to win. I love it personally because it increases conversions. It is a brand decision, of course. Typically, we see a 2x boost on conversion rate. So if you're doing a 7% with like a 15% offer, you're going to see like a 14% off. Of course, A/B test this, a 14% conversion rate with spin to win. The beauty of our spin to win, it just keeps getting better. Shout out to Bishoy who keeps upgrading the spin to win module. Now you can add really cool background images. You can add a really cool spin effect. You can add there's all sorts of stuff that's coming here. You can add a cool custom sound effect as well as it kind of spins around as well. Now, so you could change the probability. That's kind of old news. You could change your probability and you could link it to a coupon code. So if you always wanted to win to get 50% off and show a coupon code, you can do that here as well. Or always show free shipping. You do. And we are double downing on gamification. So we have a lot of gamified themes. Definitely check it out. But Spin to Win is pretty cool. And we keep kind of hearing about how amazing it's been for conversions. But again, this is a brand decision and we're excited about it. Banners are big, mainly because they're a massive call to action. Typically, you see like a free shipping banner, but don't waste that opportunity. If you're just saying free shipping, let's like talk about something else as well. Let's personalize it. Let's add a countdown timer. This one's pretty sweet. You can click on it and you can show the different offers, right? Let's say you have a very specific offer on a specific product. You can say, hey, 20% off now. You can show kind of, if you think about it, you go to a website, banners are the first thing you're going to see. So make it count, change it up, A/B test it, personalize it if they're a repeat visitor, say their name, say what they're interested in, because we're passing all this data into your ESP that we could pull and personalize based on. So if you're going to do banners, make them awesome.
And you
Is our
can
whole thing.
layer banners too. We have customers who are layering banners, so they have their kind of always on banner, and then let's say you fill out a form and you qualify for a coupon code. A second banner can appear below that has your coupon code in it, but they have their other static banner up top. So I really love that effect because it just makes it feel like really special and unique to that customer when they have that second layer banner.
Yes. It's pretty cool. Remember, this could also be a bottom banner. So,
Yeah,
doesn't have to be limited to the top. All right. Our big announcement. Who's ready for it?
that's what everyone's here for the big announcement.
So, our biggest thing has always been increasing revenue for our customers. That's really all we care about, at the end of the day. We want to help you sell more products, increase revenue for your business. That's really it. We added our ID grid, I think 9, 12 months ago, and it's just amazing at the amount of data that we can de-anonymize. So we ID every single visitor on your site, and we add them back into your existing abandoned browse, abandoned cart flow. What we noticed was that the abandoned browse, abandoned cart, and the welcome are your highest converting revenue emails. So we thought, wait, what can we do to increase that revenue? And so what we have launched is the ability for our team to come in and build out additional flows that trigger based on our ID grid to increase revenue. So what our team has done is we come in, we trigger additional data back from Shopify back into Klaviyo that can trigger these events right here. So welcome, checkout abandonment, cart abandonment, collection abandonment, product viewed, not added to cart. These are ROI positive emails and SMS flows that we can trigger through our ID grid now right inside Klaviyo to get more revenue immediately. So the good news is we've already launched this in beta for a few clients. We just launched one client for this 7 days ago, and we got 45K in additional email and SMS revenue, which is pretty cool. The big thing that we hear is we want to increase the revenue from our business. We also don't have bandwidth to do this. So what we do is we come into your platform here, Klaviyo specifically, and build out our tried and true campaigns. So if you go into Klaviyo, we actually have dedicated flows now that we've learned from our past customers what works. So sometimes you go into an account, they have the campaign set up, but it's not a flow. It's not triggered a set of triggers, or it's like hasn't been updated in the last 2, 3 years, or it's not triggering these additional flows. So you will instantly see more revenue based on our events firing back into Klaviyo and our flows running on the site. Very powerful results that we're really excited about. I want
And
to pause any
our
questions.
enhanced ID for this particular beta customer, it's actually a 15 to 20% lift from their previous ID provider. So not only they had identification, they were sending emails, they were sending SMS, so you might be thinking I'm already doing those things. But because the way our ID functions, we were able to achieve somewhere between 15 and 20% lift for this number, right? So in the same time period, a year ago or a month ago, it was, when you reflect back, there's a decent lift there. So that, I think, is what really important is like, you might say to yourself, I'm already doing those things. Well, you might be, but we have an opportunity to improve on that for you.
100%. This is a technical thing that we're doing by passing more identification back to your ESP. And it's also a service enablement. We're going to come in and we're going to refresh these flows, add these flows if you're not currently set up. And we can also review kind of what you're doing and make sure it's increasing revenue. That's the beauty of this. Uh, the reason why our ID grid kind of outperforms other ID grids, we kind of what makes us special? Why does our ID grid really outperform other ID grids? And the big thing is we identify every single user, but the other thing we do is we have the ability to capture data on your site as well, which increases the identification rate quite a bit. So if you're leveraging a pop-up, if you're leveraging a quiz, if you're leveraging anything that captures email, we can leverage that with our ID grid. In addition, if they're logged in visitors, we can grab that as well. And that is what gives us that extra boost that you typically don't see in other ID grids. And then we come in and we build out these tried and true flows as well. That's how we can increase revenue per email and SMS message as well. That is the beauty of our kind of our full service offering here, which we're really excited to see, and we're seeing great results with it as well. So we're pretty pumped. The other big thing
And
is
a
now
really
locked in.
important
We're going to show you all the data. We're going to show you all the data. This is your data. You can do whatever you want with it.
Yeah, I think that's a really important piece is that the visibility piece is not only are you getting that lift, but you're also able to see exactly what's happening. And you're also able to be a part of what's happening. You can build inside of Digioh on your own. You can build with our team, you can launch things entirely on your own or with us or with an agency partner. You have control over what happens in the Digioh platform. You also have visibility into all the data, those analytics and reports that Rishi was showing earlier. You get to see all of that. You can see what triggers are happening, what the conditions are on all of your campaigns. That's something that you don't get in other identification platforms and that you do with Digioh.
It's a very promising results, which we're excited about because it's really changing their business. It's getting more revenue for their business, so we love to see that. Here's kind of like a quick highlight of what we're doing for a brand. Like we're triggering more emails like this, high intent emails. We don't want to lose that revenue. They come in, they add an item to their cart, they did something on your site. They're identified either through Digio or they're already identified in your existing flows. Let's re-trigger those emails that we know that's going to convert. We don't want to lose that money that's already on the table. That's the goal of this right here. Their highest converting emails we want to optimize.
Yep. We've always heard from retention marketers, hey, as part of a retention marketing play, I am invested in what's happening on the site as far as lead generation, email campaigns, those opt-in opportunities on site. But then Digio was not extending further into that retention marketing. Well, we've solved for that. And we are now able to kind of fully serve that retention marketing play from on-site campaign all the way through to the email flows that happen that create those high conversions on the back end. So if the conversion isn't happening because of the on-site campaign immediately, it'll trigger those emails that will then result in the conversion down the funnel. So this is really a full funnel play. Digio has always been list growth, on-site campaigns, very CRO focused, but adding in this retention marketing piece is a complete game changer. And people always ask me how Digio compares to other platforms. Well, tell me how you compare to this software or this software. And it's actually a very hard question to answer because there isn't anyone else doing all of these things in one place and addressing this full funnel experience for you and giving you visibility into it in a really easy to see way. And that level of control that we provide as well. It's hard to find any way to, you're comparing, what did I say the other day? You're comparing apples to kumquats when you're trying to compare Digio to other platforms.
100%. And that is kind of going back to our cookbook where, we are taking all the knowledge that we get from customers, putting it into this cookbook to increase conversions across the board. So we're really excited about this. Check it out. Go to this link. I'll put it in the chat, the
Sure.
non-bit.ly link if you guys want. And if you want access to this, if you want access to our ID grid, let us know. And we can fill out this form right here. Um, and we'll be happy to. There's a lot more that we have. We're going beyond Klaviyo as well. So let us know if you have an ESP
Yeah.
in mind.
Really important right now, it is Klaviyo Shopify only in this beta period. There's a spoiler alert here. There are more updates coming to not only the ID grid, but then also to other ESPs, other platforms. We're starting with this core of Klaviyo Shopify. So if you are on those platforms, if you are currently using an identification software and you're like, whoa, wait, Digio can do this. I want to talk to somebody, fill out that form. If you are considering an identification software heading into BFCM, your site traffic is going to be the highest it's ever been. So right now is the best time to implement an identification software because you can capture all that traffic, all those identities and pass them through for additional data recognition on the back end. So if you are in a place where you're either already using identification or you're considering adding in identification, we want to talk to you. We want to hear from you on that form. So go fill that out and we'll reach out to you directly.
All right, we have some time for QA while people ask questions. If you like updates like this, Val is actually pushing out these updates via email. So definitely subscribe to our newsletter if you're not on it, or just check out our blog. Every month we release, we had our biggest release in terms of how many, things we launched last week. So we're just launching more and more stuff. And so if you ever want to see what we're doing on a monthly basis, you can check us out on the blog or subscribe to our newsletter. Most of you are already on it if you're on this call. But let it, if you're not, let us know or add your teammates on it as well if you want them to.
Yep, definitely. And then Rishi, if you just go to the next slide, we have we had an opening gift, we have a parting gift as well. If you don't already have, or if you have V1 of the e-commerce marketer's guide to zero party data, we've made some updates to this playbook in in under the year that it's been alive, right? So this industry moves so fast that we're already updating the playbook. And we also added in strategies that some of our agency and tech partner friends have brought to us. So we've done webinars throughout the last year. We've been to different events. We've worked with these other partners, and they have some really great ideas that you guys can implement that are all in this playbook. So you can go grab the updated version of the zero party data playbook. If you've already seen it, there's definitely some new things in here for you to check out. This and the cookbook are going to set you up for success. And not to say like, let's go implement all of every page in both books today. But maybe say like, let's do chapter 1 this week and then map out like the next few weeks, we're going to do chapter 2 and 3, and then kind of go page by page that way, either through the playbook or the cookbook or both.
Absolutely. What's cool about this one is that we work with like I think 10 plus agencies and like 10 tech partners. So it's kind of all encompassing. So it's not just all Digio stuff, it's knowledge from the entire industry. So it's pretty sweet. And this is a version 2 now. So usually if you got a version 2, version 1 was pretty good. So let us know what you think. We got some good feedback on the first one, so we're gonna do it. We did it again. Any questions? Again, thank you guys, everybody, for your time. I know how valuable that is for everybody here. So, any questions? I'm always around. Feel free to ping us as well. Any questions at all?
Yeah,
Comment.
absolutely. Drop questions in the chat. I don't see anything in the QA either. Sometimes those sneak in there. But chat is a great place too. Yes, Shannon, lots of updates. And, quite honestly, folks, there are more little things here and there that we had to say, hey, we want to cover the big, most important things. So if you are poking around, you feel like something might be new, and have a question about it, please ask. Ask the chat bot, ask support, ask your CSM. Digio GPT still available on Chat GPT?
Ooh, that's a great question. We do have plans to make it open as like a public GPT. Molly, great question. We should just do that. We should open it up. So I will talk to Juan, our AI guy, and let's open it up. Juan, if you're on this call, let's open it up. Um,
But it is also what powers our chatbot. So essentially, Molly, it is available to you inside of Digio. So just log into the platform and the chatbot is our GPT. So you can definitely make use of it right there. But I understand wanting it in GPT too.
yeah, that's a great idea. It's cool that GPT can also create like custom charts for you guys, and you can just drop it into Digio. So
Well,
that
now, Rishi, you're giving away some of the things that are coming down the line.
yes. Shannon, you asked a great question. Push Planet. So first of all, great question. People don't realize we also have a landing page builder. So those on this call that don't realize that we have a full-on drag and drop landing page builder. Shannon uses it quite a bit. Thank you, Shannon, for using it. Yeah, let me know. Give me your laundry list of things that you'd want to add to Push Planet. We do spend a lot of our time on Digio campaigns specifically. That's where most of our customers are. So that's why we spend large time. But send me your list, and we'd have to we can talk about that too next time. Um, what is the difference between ID grid and custom fields passed down from quiz results currently in Klaviyo? That's a fantastic question, Betty. So when we think about quizzes and custom fields, that's data that you're passing. Someone clicks on something or someone enters their email and they're passing it directly into Klaviyo as a profile. So someone explicitly is putting in their email address and they're passing it through. What the ID grid is, we identify every visitor on your site. So we come on your site, our JavaScript's quietly running in the background, and we add an ID variable like 001 to every single visitor on the site. So I'll come to the site, I'll be 001. You'll go to the site, you'll be 002, and so on. And we add that on the browser. So right now it's not stored anywhere but on the browser. And then as soon as they identify themselves, the identification can be done in multiple ways. One is they enter an email in a Digio pop-up or a Digio quiz. A second way is they click on one of your emails, right? Your Klaviyo emails or a different type of email, and we grab the identification from that link. Once we identify them, We're saying, hey, this person on the site is 001, and here's who they are. And then we notice, hey, they're abandoning the email. They're leaving. They're doing something else on your site, unrelated to the quiz or the pop-ups, but they're a high converting potential intent type of customer. And we tell your ESP, hey, this person is leaving without a checkout, but they added an item to the cart. We can trigger an automatic email or SMS flow that says, hey, you left this item in your cart. Or hey, these are, let's re-trigger your existing flows or campaigns that can increase conversions. That's the main difference. The named fields are really for sending data back. And Betty, if you want to set up a call with me, I can kind of go into in more ground detail. But they're almost two different things completely, and that's a fantastic question.
Yep.
Emma, using email data from Iterable, are we able to personalize who sees the journey and create unique versions based on user fields in Iterable, sort of like conditions? Absolutely. Yeah, you can personalize. That's a great question, first of all. You can personalize the entire campaign and what's even displayed based on the data in Iterable. We can also target based on the data in Iterable as well. So target based on profile fields. Hey, does this profile field exist? Then display this. Or based on an iterable list, or if they're known to iterable or unknown. Great
Yeah,
question.
one of the things people like to do is, hey, if we have their email but we don't have their phone number, skip the email step and go straight to the phone number. Or some folks decide to create a separate campaign. So if we don't have if we have their email but not their phone number, only show them this SMS only campaign versus the two-step. Right. So there's lots of options the way you decide to build it, but you can definitely target those things on Iterable as well as Klaviyo.
Yeah, and Emma, for that iterable question, definitely ping us. There's a few setup steps that we like to add to increase identification with iterable, like 10x. There's one step that you got to do manually in iterable, and it's really easy to do, but you can identify like 10x more once you do that step. Um, Noah asked a great question. Can I get ID grid set up before Black Friday Cyber? Yeah, setting up the ID grid actually only takes like 4 seconds. Obviously, building out the campaigns and the flows and all the other stuff takes a little bit longer, but it's very fast, very easy to do. That's the other beauty of this. It's almost like instant money, where you just turn it on and you're recognizing more visitors and triggering your best converting flows. The benefit to starting now before or after Black Friday is we can identify more visitors now, and then that'll allow us to trigger your high converting plans after Black Friday, Cyber Monday. So you definitely want it on as soon as possible so our identification layer can be set. What do SLAs look like for Digio support with Black Friday, Cyber Monday coming up? If we're wanting to update some of our boxes with matching creative, that's a great question. We obviously the earlier the better. I don't have an exact time frame. I'll get Patrick to chime in on that. So Patrick, if you're on this call and Juan, if you're on this call, let's get back to Danielle Johnson on our SLAs, but sooner the better. But we're pretty quick on just regular support. It's still going to be the same speedy support. We had a
Yeah.
great Black Friday Cyber Monday last year. We're thinking we're going to have another great one this year. We're ready for the traffic.
And as far as matching creative, setting up, aside from images, I'd say setting up account styles is going to help a ton in getting that done. So if you go in and set up your account styles, even if you've never done that before, you can then apply those account styles to your campaigns, to your boxes. So that will get you pretty far along that process. And then it may mean a couple of more steps for you or for our support team, but definitely a good shortcut right there.
Oh man, Shannon asked an amazing question. For
Mhm.
journeys, can we use a templated set but add more campaigns to the journey set?
Yeah.
1000%.
Yeah.
This is just like a recipe, and you can kind of add more whipped cream to it, you know? So yeah, absolutely. You could easily add, 4, 5. That's kind of just an idea. It's more like an idea board,
Yeah.
anything else. And you can easily add additional, it's still flexible. You can add as many campaigns as you want to a journey.
Whipped cream, chocolate sauce,
Yeah.
cherry on top, whatever toppings you prefer. And we that's a great point, Shannon. One of the future states of journeys is that you'll be able to kind of pick and choose what you want in your journey. So this is just phase one, right? So as you know from being around Digio, we like to iterate. We like to get things launched and get them out in your hands and using them, and then we improve on them. So, and I can tell you already there is a future state for journeys where you get to build your own from scratch.
Yeah. Phenomenal question. All right, guys. Thank you very much. One more. Oh, there's a link again from Marissa. Any
Yes.
other questions? I'm always around, as you know. Feel free to email me directly. And we're really excited about where we're headed. We're excited about this announcement. We're excited about our ID grid. We're excited about our flows. So excited to just help marketers capture more revenue. So let us know.
Awesome. Thanks for being here, everyone. Thank you, Rishi.
Thank you, Val.
Bye.
Good one, everybody.